Yo, what's happening, YouTube? It's your boy Bolo, aka Feminists, and I come to you with another video for educational purposes only. And as you can see by the headline right here, this just further proves that feminism has absolutely nothing to do with equality. It's just teaming up to try and take down the evil man. I need everyone to understand, especially like black men. They look at themselves as women first, black second. Second, hold on. Yo, what's happening, YouTube? It's your boy Bolo, aka Feminists, and I come to you with another video for educational purposes only. As you can see from the title of this article, the cruel slut shaming of Jada Pinkett Smith. This is a woman that has gone through hoops to publicly shame her husband, to emasculate him. And somehow, guess what? You guessed correctly, she's the victim. She's the victim. Somehow. You dragged this man through the mud, had him on the verge of tears on TV, and she's the victim. Okay? This just shows you what I've been saying all along. These women, especially black women, they look at themselves as women first, black second. The black is only used when it's convenient, when it's to garner themselves more victimhood points. It's like, no, we're black women and this is why. But don't get it twisted, folks. Fellas, they're women first in their eyes. They will dump you on the side of the road. Okay? But let's read this and I'll break it down. The cruel slut shaming of Jada Pinkett Smith. That double standard. Woof. The irony. The actress and the host of Red Table Talk is constantly painted as a symbol of toxic femininity by mostly male online trolls. No, there's a lot of women that read this shit and see what she's doing and think she's an absolute fool. But obviously they want to paint it as just a bunch of incels and angry men that just can't get over it. It's a gross distortion. No, the fuck it isn't. I don't think I've ever seen a woman try harder to humiliate their husband. I don't think I've seen it, like publicly. I don't think I've seen this. On Wednesday, wellness mogul, probably depressed with a whole bunch of antidepressants in her medicine cabinet, Gwyneth Paltrow stopped by Facebook Watch's Red Table Talk to promote her latest Netflix series, Sex, Love, and Goop. Hosts Jada Pinkett Smith, Adrienne Banfield Norris, and briefly Willow Smith spoke candidly with Oscar winner about sex and relationships. This is the kind of shit feminism does. This is the shit that they do. They talk sex with their daughters and all kinds. And you see how her kids are? That's all because of her, guaranteed. You see how much of a nut job she is? You see how her kids came out? That's all her. At one point in the interview, when discussing accountability regarding communication about sex, Smith described having to overcome this particular challenge in her 24-year-long marriage to actor Will Smith. It's hard, Pinkett Smith added. The thing Will and I talk about a lot in this journey. We started in this at a very young age, 22 years old. That's young now. Our parents, our grandparents, they was getting married that age and younger and stood together. Okay? It's just young now because you're taught and promoted, no, just fuck everything that moves for about 15 years. And then when your womb's all shriveled up, then you should try and settle down. That's the message being promoted and propagated. That's the only reason 22 years is really young, because you're told, hey, one dick isn't enough. You need a whole bunch before. And then when you settle down with this what you determine as not that sexy guy, you're gonna just sit there and think about all the other better dicks you had. That's what's gonna happen. That's why the accountability part really hit for me, because I think you expect your partner to know, especially when it comes to sex. It's like, well, if you love me, you should know. If you love me, you should read my mind. That's a huge pitfall. Not being able to read your mind is a pitfall, fellas. Listen to that. Your ability not to read their mind. Not that you're not listening, but that they shouldn't even have to open their mouth is a pitfall, and it's a negative character trait on you. Remember, this is about communication. Okay? It says accountability about communication. And she's mad that she actually has to communicate her feelings with you. This is the mentality, the train of thought that we have to deal with today. Let that sink in, guys. Like, seriously. Oddly enough, this rather innocuous admission kicked off a 24-hour pile on Jada, and deservedly so. The fact that this woman writing this can't see how retarded she is just really exposes how feminism really just poisons minds. It really does. Against the actress on Twitter after an E-Online article deceptively titled "Jada Pinkett Smith Tells Gwyneth Paltrow Why It's Hard to Maintain a Sex Life with Will Smith." A similarly worded headline by The Shade Room began to spread. Despite Pinkett clearly taking ownership of her flaws as espoused in the interview, the internet used the clickbait as another opportunity to brand her as a toxic, oppressive wife. Well, she is. Even if you had these problems, why the fuck you putting it on television for everyone to see? Like, why are you doing this? You're hurting this man's pride. You're making him feel emasculated. Will Smith already talked about how he thought about self-deletion. He felt like, ending it all. Okay, this is crazy. I don't like to do if it was the other way around, but it really does resonate here. Imagine Will Smith on television saying, "Yeah, man, we used to do this and that, and man, I got tired of it, man. I needed something else. She wasn't reading my mind. I didn't like pickles, and she put pickles on there, bro. I had to fuck her." Imagine he said that shit on TV. Man, Father God, please release my brother Will Smith from the shackles of Jada, one user wrote. Jada wakes up every morning and says, "How can I embarrass this nigga Will today?" That's how it feels. That's really how it feels. Like, on no planet, man, this is okay to just put all your shit out on Front Street. You handle it with that man. And if y'all need to bring in a third party, you gotta get a therapist or something. You don't go on Red Table Talk and have millions of people talk, have the shit exposed. Pinkett Smith's transparency in recent years about her union with the Fresh Prince star has resulted in some media firestorms and few iconic memes. The Smiths, one of Hollywood's longest standing A-list couples, have long been subject to rumors involving cheating and open marriage and their ties to Scientology. But it was 2020 interview with R&B singer August Alsina, who's a fucking simp and a loser, in which he revealed formerly having a romantic relationship with Pinkett Smith, that their marriage faced new levels of criticism, speculation, and mockery in the public eye. That dude's a fucking simp and a loser. Pinkett Smith cleared up the accusations in one of the most memorable and unusual PR cleanse strategies by a celebrity in recent memory, inviting Will on Red Table Talk. You already embarrassed this man. You want him to come out and just so you could just do it more? Just stomp on him more? Come on, man. To open up about her previous entanglement with Alsina and the time when the couple was on the brink of divorce. One of the internet's main takeaways from the awkward interaction was a screen grab of Smith with his head tilted and eyes glazed over, appearing exhausted. Despite the couple confirming that they had overcome that dark period in their marriage, the dominant narrative surrounding their relationship from then on, heavily touted by male social media users in particular, was that Smith was struck in an emotionally manipulative relationship with a promiscuous, unfaithful woman. First off, saying something and that something actually being true are two totally different things. A lot of people say things to save face. I mean, why is she acting like that's not even a possibility? You want him to come out and say, "I'm hurt" all the time? No, a guy's not gonna do that. We have too much pride to sit there and, especially in the public eye, say, "Yeah, I'm just hurting and I'm depressed and she's doing this to me." No, we suck it up. No, we're fine. And then if we do work on it, it's going to be behind closed doors. We're not going to be out in the public eye for everyone to see every step. Okay? Even before the sit-down, jokes that deceased rapper Tupac was the actual love of Pinkett Smith's life and that she was a strong arm into a relationship with Smith, based on a previous Red Table Talk interview with Will, were already being thrown around on Black Twitter. I like how they have Black Twitter. In a much more playful and non-judgmental fashion. But Pinkett Smith confirming her relationship with Alcina before the world was viewed as public castration by many men who had previously only witnessed male celebrities confessing their extramarital affairs in the media. Yes, and they was always dragged through the mud. But now you can't drag her through the mud. Guys have always been dragged through the mud when they cheated. All the time. People weren't clapping. Like, give me a break. She's acting like the treatment would have been way different. But Pinkett Smith confirming her... Oh, this is a quote. In addition to Twitter's characterization of her, Pinkett Smith has developed an alarmingly negative presence on YouTube as a topic of scrutiny by primarily male YouTube commentators and subject to sensational video edits of the infamous sit-down by trolls. The buzzwords, trolls. Ooh, they're just trolls. No, we're not. We're breaking things down. We're breaking things down and analyzing. And to be honest, a lot of this doesn't need deep analysis. She's telling you how much of a scumbag she is. A digital smear campaign similar to actress Brie Larson's experience that's under discussion in conversations about the online harassment of female public figures. They can do no wrong in the sisterhood. Like, literally. They can do no wrong. I mean, all this shows is that everything not just is forgiven, it's not even considered wrong. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm reading this and I can't believe it, because if a guy was doing this, he would be dragged through the mud. And all the things that he would be doing would be a product of the patriarchy. I mean, we've all heard it before. Needless to say, Pinkett Smith's image, despite her extreme efforts, has hardly recovered from last year's revelation. How could it? You just shitted on the man again. Like, you can't help yourself at this point. Which is why the internet, including some journalists, were so eager to accuse the actress of publicly humiliating her husband without taking the few seconds required to read her actual statement. Unsurprisingly, when Will Smith revealed in a GQ profile a month prior that Jada was not the only one engaging in other sexual relationships during their marriage, the internet was largely quiet. Since going viral on Wednesday, well, he wasn't on national TV and the person that he was doing it with wasn't out there crying about it. I mean, it's two totally different matters, how things were handled. A lot of times, not what you do, but it's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have, a problem with someone, say, hey man, I don't like how you did that, blah, 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 they're gonna be more receptive to it. But if you say, hey motherfucker, get over here, blah, 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 boom. The same things are said, but in two totally different ways, and they're gonna get two different reactions. Okay? Like, Will Smith wasn't on TV saying, yeah, her pussy's whack. She needed to read my mind better. She knows I like a lot of spit. He wasn't doing none of that shit. Since going viral on Wednesday, Pinkett Smith clarified her remarks on Twitter, stating that she and Will never had an issue in the bedroom. Regardless, the public's projections and misinterpretations have already become the story. How were they you just throwing these words out, but you're not showing how they are actually misinterpretations. She said what she said. It'll be interesting how the talk show navigates her raw, forthcoming persona now that she has become the face of toxic femininity on social media. I mean, it is what it is, and she is what she is, man. She's a toxic individual, and she says too much on camera. I mean, let's just be honest. This bald-headed ass bitch does too much talking to the public. You've heard the saying, don't kiss and tell. Don't go public. You don't gotta be public with everything. Even if you're a public figure, you don't have to let everyone know what she was doing behind closed doors. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe if you feel I'm worth it. If not, have a good day anyway. Peace.